Hey Heather, this is Donnie Vaughn. Let me give you a quick tutorial on what you're asking about regarding the PDF. Here's a couple things, a couple ways of doing this. I'm not sure exactly which option you want to use, but I'll tell you what I've done. First thing I did was whenever I go to a site, you can click just the words. It says click here to click the Bible study. And you could just hyperlink text. And for instance, you could hyperlink any of this text here and have it link over to a PDF. The other option is to have an icon. Because sometimes I've gone to websites before and there'll be an icon that says PDF that looks something like this. So what I have done, just in case you wanted it, I've loaded that PDF icon into your media library so you'll have it. So let me show you a couple different ways of doing this. One is you can load your whatever document that you have into your media library. So for instance, you come over here, log into your dashboard, go down here to Media Library and add new. Then you want to select the file. And on the desktop here, I've got a sample PDF. It's real basic. Excuse me. Okay. Now this is your, let's pretend that you've typed out something in whatever program you've got, and you've saved it as a PDF, and you've just now uploaded this. This is what you're going to come to. You could do this just like this, and I think the way, well, that's one way of doing it. And you've got a URL here. Okay, so that URL you could tie to. Here's what I would do is I would copy that, maybe open up a little notepad, something basic, and paste that on there because I might need that later. Save that. Now, the other way to do it is, let's say you go into your Bible study page, and let's pretend I don't want to mess up your Bible study page, so let's just put it on this page here that we've been keeping track of the names. Let's say that I wanted to put it right here underneath this, right? I'll move my cursor down, and this is where I want to type this. So let's say I wanted a PDF document here. There's a couple things we could do. One, we could go ahead and upload and add media. That's what I've clicked, is click add media. Add file the document on my computer. Now I'm going to, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to create a sample 2. I'm just going to create, let's pretend this is another PDF document you want to upload. Okay. And then I'm going to insert into post. Now, when I do that, you see here, it didn't pull in, it may not necessarily pull in always the title, whatever you want it to say. It pulls in, well, let's just say it pulled in the title of whatever this document is called. So if you wanted this to say, click here, you could add more text and play around with that. The other thing you want to do is anytime you have a PDF document, so click your cursor anywhere on the hyperlink and go over here to your link, because we want a PDF to open up in a new window. That's kind of the rule of thumb I would use. Click update, and that way if they ever see a PDF or a link to click to it, they can open that PDF up, but when they're done with that PDF, they print it off the page or whatever they're going to do with it, and they close it out, they're still left back on your website. Otherwise, if you open up in the same window and they close the PDF, it closes down your website, and that's very frustrating. So you could do this, okay, and we could update the page. I could come back here to, let's see, I think it's received. That's what I was just working on. And there's the sample PDF. You can see it's just a link, and when I click on it, it opens up into a new window, and there it is. So that's one way of going about this. The other thing is you can add so let's say we're going to type out something, say click here for more, whatever. And then you want to highlight this, and then you could add your media this way. Since you've already added that originally to the media library, I can click show here, and insert into post. Now, the reason I wanted to show you that is look what it did. It removed the wording that you had that said click here to show, because it's pulling. So let me update this and I'll show you what I'm talking about more. See, you now know why I didn't type this out, because it's not that complicated. It's just some steps, and I'm probably making it more complicated than I need to be. Notice that that one, it opens up in the same window. I don't want that, so I would have to go back in and change that. But let's say you want that to say something different. What I would do is go to your media library, and it's kind of confusing because there's two different ones called the same. I probably should have had two different ones to show you. I'd edit this thing, and let's say you want it to say, let's see if we say click here for more information. Okay, now I'll go back to my page, go to this received page. So if I don't even have to type anything, I can select from my media library. Now you have my options. I don't have two sample PDFs. I just have one. The other one I just changed the title on. When I show it, what should show is that information right there. And I insert the post, and you can see how it's done that. So you got a couple different ways of doing that. If you just load it directly, let's say you haven't loaded anything yet, and you upload it from your desktop. Let's do sample PDF here. When it uploads, this is where you could also change. Oh man, sorry, that went away too fast. So you upload. I'm having some mouse problems, so if I click too fast, it goes away. See how it's bringing in the title of the document there, so I could say, here's a wonderful PDF. And when I insert into post, that's what shows up. So you can either add it to the media library and come back and link to it, or you just, wherever you're going to put it on your page, you just immediately add the media, but just change the title so it shows up. Now, here's our other option. Is we go back in, you've got, let's say we found this little notepad here that's got this document. That's your hyperlink. But let's say we really want that icon that we uploaded. So let's say we put a cursor here, and we want to go this route. So we add media. You know, in your media library, there is a PDF icon somewhere. Now, at some point, that may not be on the first page. It may be on down the road. So you could always search for PDF, and you can say, I know Donnie put a PDF in there, and voila, there I am. Just click show. Now, this may be where you have to adjust some sizing, and we'll show you some things on that here in a minute. And there's the PDF document, or PDF icon. Now, I would probably say that's too big, so you can click over here and click Edit Image. And you can either adjust it here on the advanced settings, or you can kind of play around with fiddle these numbers here. Let's just do that. You can see how it changed it to 70 to 65. Let's update it. That's still a little too big, so let's go a little bit further. So let's see about that size. That's a better size. Now, we've got an image up there, but what we want to do is hyperlink that image. And so what do we put in here? Because this hyperlink right now is to the JPEG of the PDF icon. Well, we don't want that. This is what I want. So here, I can go back here. I can delete that, paste in. I just paste in and put it in a new window and update. Hit over here and update, and then when I go back and refresh my browser, and I'll clean all this up before I leave, you can see you have the text option, various text options, or you could just say click on. You could even have in your title, click on the PDF below to open up the Bible study, and then the only thing they have to click on is the PDF icon, and when they do that, it opens in a new window, and there's the PDF. So I hope that helps. It makes sense. It's probably a little bit longer in explanation, but I wanted to help you understand There's various ways to put the PDF on there, but hopefully by putting the PDF icon on there, you have that option to choose as well. If this doesn't work or you create more problems, let me know. Thanks.